Welcome, welcome to Quarantine with Styles, aka Driving with Styles. I've gotten back to miniature driving with Styles, doing a little commentary on Fleet. Obviously, my camera's still acting up. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm not that technically savvy, so we're just gonna go with this. So, hope everybody's having a good weekend. Had a good weekend. I hope everybody has gotten their holiday shopping done because you understand that 4 days is Christmas. So, hope you guys not waiting to the last minute, especially with this pandemic. Hope you didn't wait to the last minute. So, first thing I was going to get into, obviously, football stuff. But this basketball, and as I've said in the past, I try to stick away from talking about UK basketball, men's basketball, because there's so many people already talking about it. I don't want to bore you with more takes, more hot takes. So I normally talk about women's basketball, which had they could have put up 150 on Wofford, but I think they put up 98, 30 something. The women's team is legit. Tune in. Those girls are legit, and they haven't really even hit their stride. And they got a very tough SEC conference schedule coming up. Those first 4 or 5 games are going to be very difficult. Starting with, I think they play Arkansas on, is it Christmas? Is it New Year's Eve? I think it's New Year's Eve. I think it's on the 31st. First thing I want to talk about, I want to get into though, is something that's near and dear to me. Is parents and coaches have to do a better job of holding these kids up to a standard. I don't care how great an athlete you are. Your athletic ability is going to only take you so far. If you're not a good person, you're going to be hindered later on in life. And some of these kids get by with a lot of things because they have exceptional talent. They're able to talk back to coaches. They're able to be disrespectful. They're able to not play hard all the time. They're not coach hard all the time. I've seen kids walk out of practice or switch teams because the coach is coaching them hard. And I've heard parents say to kids, be quiet because how can I defend you when you are basically telling the truth? It goes on both ends. The kids now are acting the way they're acting because of, one, parents not doing their job at home. I've seen it too many times. I coached my son AAU team, and we were not good, so to speak. But I had these kids at the Y, and the parents wanted to continue. So the next step, since we did so well in the Y, was to go to the summer league circuit. They found out real quick that we were not that good. So the Y is a different league compared to AAU. So, but the thing that my sister and I taught, she taught her girls, and she had her team. She coached them all the way to their senior year. And I don't know how many still are college basketball, but at least 5 of them got on scholarship. So the thing that we go for is great parents and great kids. Because the thing about it, people have to understand is, especially in girls basketball, a lot of these girls don't have the fundamentals or don't have good practice habits. Good practice habits are so important because just because you are the best male or female basketball player at the time for your age group doesn't mean that's going to be the same when you go to college, because everybody's good. So you got to have great practice habits, because great practice habits will enable you to continue to progress when you get out of high school, when you're just naturally the best player or best talent on the court. So that's huge. And the kids need to learn that from jump. They need to learn it from jump. They need to learn that from their parents. And if the parents can't do it, they need to learn it from their coaches. Coaches are just like parents. It's I don't know what the word is. It comes with the territory of being a coach, especially when you're coaching certain kids. who might not have the support system that other kids might have. You are their go-to person. And when you let them slide on things, not running back down on court after they make a turnover, letting them do whatever they want to because they're the best player on the team, it's detrimental to them later in life. Trust me. We need to, as coaches, do a better job of holding these kids up to a standard that's beyond just because they're a great athlete. Now, you can't treat everybody the same. That's impossible. You just can't do that. You can't treat everybody the same, but you have to hold them to a standard. And if they don't abide to those standards, you got to penalize them in some way. You know what the greatest penalization for an athlete is? Playing time. That's the easiest thing. Sit them down. If they don't get right, keep sitting them down. Then eventually they will get either they're going to leave your team and go to someone who's going to enable them, or they're going to abide by the rules. That's something that coaches need to do. They need to hold firm on their rules. Next thing, trying to see how I want to tie this. The next thing I want to talk about now, I want to go back to football. And when was that? That was Sunday. I was driving the car and I thought about this. Talking about this Liam Cohen hiring. As I've said before, I like to hire. Is coaches, coordinators. You have some coordinators that are in the booth. You have some coordinators that are on the field. Which one would you rather your coordinator be? Would you rather your coordinator be in the booth, or would you rather your coordinator be on the field? It's an interesting thing that I'm not sure. For me, honestly, I would rather be on the field. And the reason why I would rather be on the field is I want to get a sense of my players, because I'm a field guy anyway. I coach by feel, and and more importantly, I want to know that my players are comfortable with what I'm calling, and I want to look them in the eyes so they're not, quote unquote, maybe potentially lying to me, not telling me the truth. I want to look them in the eyes. So for me, it's better for me to be on the field. But then my analytics side, I can watch film, makes me think, well, damn, I might want to be in the press box and see what the actual coverage is that, and the actual way that the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator is attacking my side of the team. But I don't know, man. You guys watching and you make a statement, I'd like to hear what you think. Would you like your coach to be on the field, or would you like your coach to be in the box? Because you're going to have a coach in the box. The thing about it is there will be a coach in the box. But would you rather your coordinator be in the box to actually see what's going on, and I have someone relay to him what they see and not what the coordinator sees from up top? With the advantage of how, I'm not sure if college teams gotten to the level of iPads on the sideline, even if it's admissible. Can a college coach bring up iPad to show the players what sets the defense or offense was running? I still like my coordinator on the field. I'm picking the field. I'm picking the field for a lot of reasons. I don't think you need to be in the press box to actually see, because you kind of know during the week what the team likes to run defensively. So why I need to be up in the box. And if there's something they're doing crazy, hopefully the coach can relay that information solidly to me, so then we can all make adjustments. But I like a coach on the field. I think being a coordinator, it's got to be more of a field thing than really worried about what they're running. You need to worry about what you can run and effectively. So I personally, I know I asked that on Sunday. I think I want my guy on the field. Now, we're going to get into this bowl thing. And my man Michael Bennett at Just a Cat Radio made a statement that Clemson is the most overrated team. And now the thing about it is, overrated is not really a bad thing. You can be a really good team, and teams think, and pundits, experts think you're a little bit better than what you are. Being overrated doesn't mean you're a terrible team. It just means that people think more highly of you than what they think you really are. I don't think Clemson is even close to being overrated. They almost beat Notre Dame with basically a young quarterback after Lawrence got the COVID and had to sit out 2 weeks. In my opinion, Notre Dame is the most overrated team because they should have 2 losses on their schedule, on their record, and 2 losses wouldn't have them in the championship bowl series. They'll be out of it. But since they conveniently won that one game when Clemson wasn't full speed, I think Clemson even had some defensive players who were out. So Notre Dame had a little advantage. They was playing at home, and they snuck by a Clemson team without their best player, probably the best player in the country, in my opinion. That guy does things at his size. People don't understand how big he is. I think he's 6'4". Let me type that while I'm talking. I think he's 6'4", and he can move. Trevor isn't like like Matt. What's the quarterback for the Giants? I can't think of his name right now. Matt Jones, I think. He's not that. And Matt Jones, he can run, but Trevor Lawrence is 6'6". I got him 6'4", 6'6", and can move. And I'm a big Devontae Smith guy. He is right in basically my backyard. He's from Emmett, where Amani Gilmore's from, played at, and is a stud. But I'm telling you, Trevor Lawrence is something special. So Clemson is not overrated. To me, Notre Dame is overrated, and to me, Cincinnati is overrated. See, people are climbing on their stool about Cincinnati not being a 4 because they're undefeated. Now, I understand that it is a little weird that they don't have a chance, but do you really? If you think Notre Dame is going to get their ass whipped by Alabama, do you really think Cincinnati has a chance? Let's be honest here. First, who did Cincinnati really play? Now, everybody's going to say, well, they played some ranked teams. This is a pandemic year. Those rankings go out the door, man. Remember before the Big Ten entered, the rankings were one way, and then when the Big Ten entered, there was another. Dude, this was a weird year. I would not go by rankings. Look with your eyes. If you really think Cincinnati is one of the top 4 teams, I think that's a problem. I'm not sure that Texas A&M is one of the top 4 teams. I really think there's a top 3, and then there's everybody else, in my opinion. When Indiana lost Penix, they were out. I think they are really a top 4 team, but they don't have their quarterback, so they suffering. But it's kind of weird that I hear people all the time saying these kids, what's the word, that everybody gets a trophy. Just because you're undefeated doesn't mean you're one of the best teams. So are we just giving out trophies to everybody? Now, all these people who talk about the SEC being the best conference. So when a team like Texas A&M only lose one game, they're being ostracized because they lost to Alabama. Didn't Notre Dame just lose to Clemson? Isn't that really the same thing? But Notre Dame played Clemson first with their best player not in the game. So it's a little weird that now all of a sudden, for people who complain about everybody getting a trophy, now they're clamoring for Cincinnati being in a damn championship series because they went undefeated. Do you think Cincinnati could play in the damn SEC and go undefeated? I don't know if Cincinnati could even play in the damn ACC with only really 3 to 4 good teams and they definitely go undefeated there because if they play Clemson, they would lose to them. And they would lose to Miami. And they would lose to Notre Dame. So if they play 2 out of those 2 losses on their schedule right now. So I understand. It's a good story Cincinnati going undefeated. It's a good story that Coastal Carolina is going undefeated. It's a great story that Liberty only lost 1 game. Oh, I love it. That doesn't mean they're one of the best teams. Now, I maybe I should pull this. I did a broadcast at least 2 years ago about how, and now people are kind of on it now, how we could have used a bowl system and still have I think did I do 32? I think I did a 32 team tournament. And you can still have some bowl games because I think I can't remember how many bowl games there are. There's 30 some bowl games, 40 some bowl games. So you're going to use really 16. I think I remember, what was it? 16 games or whatever. Can't remember. I think there was 20 something bowl games. Or was it 30? I can't remember. Jeez, I can't remember. Wherever, there was still going to be some bowl games for everyone else. Now, should you go 32? Should you go 16? No matter what you freaking go, somebody's going to be upset. And that's the problem. Someone's going to be upset. You can't go 64 because everybody's in. And football is not everybody shouldn't be in it. And to me, if you go 8, you might as well go 16. I think there's 16 teams that are, or you can go 24 and have some bye weeks. I'm okay with that. If you got a top 25, take the top 24 and put them in a freaking bracket. I'm cool with that. But right now, where we're having 4, Cincinnati does not belong in the top 4. I'm serious. It's just not. Go with your eye and not with some freaking just the stats. Cincinnati is not a top 4 team. They're a very good team, though. But they're not a top 4 team. That's just, I can't see how we are on that when we get upset with kids winning awards. I just don't get it. And the Ohio State thing bothers me a little bit too. Now, I know some people just hate teams. Like some people just hate Ohio State. We hate Duke. Some people hate Notre Dame. I understand. Totally makes sense. But sometimes you're as a fan, it's one thing. But people who are making decisions got to take their fandom out of it. Now, Ohio State only played 5 games. Now, if this was a normal season, they shouldn't be in there. They're in a freaking pandemic. It wasn't them. They wasn't the cause for them missing the game. It was always the freaking opponent. So they did everything in their power to play the games and be able to play the games, have enough players to play the game. Unfortunately, the teams that they were lined up to play couldn't get it done. So now you're going to penalize Ohio State for doing everything they're supposed to. Now, do we know if they really did? Could they have faked some tests? I don't know. That's conspiracy theory. You never know with these teams, these high echelon teams. They'll do anything to make sure they get to a bowl game. Let's to the CFP, because that's big for these conferences. The amount of money that's generated for them getting a CFP is huge. But Ohio State missed opponents because the opponents couldn't fill a team. Now, is that their fault? No. Now, do you want to blame the Big Ten for not allowing them to play other teams? Now, you can go that route, but what can Ohio State do but play the guys on their schedule, right? And then play the teams that are available on their schedule, right? Now, people are going to say, well, the Northwestern game was close. Well, damn, they only played 5 games. How many weeks were they off before they played Northwestern? When you look at the game, when you turn on that down, I guess now when you turn on, you get the games from the cloud or get it from ESPN or get it from wherever online. When you turn on that film, are they not one of the top damn 3 teams in the country? And the goal is, ever since the polls and with the BCS and people clamoring for, that's not the best 2 teams, blah, blah, blah. It's an eye test. If you cannot give Ohio State that they're one of the best 3 teams, I can't say nothing for you. Yes, it's not fair. Really, it really isn't fair that they only played 5 games. Now, that 5 games, you can look at it one way or you're looking at it the other way. There's two ways to look at it. They are fresh, yes, but they are rusty too. They haven't been able to really gel as a team because they only played 5 games. And it wasn't like 5 games in a row at the end. It was intermittent 5 games. So they haven't gelled as a team. If you ask me, the advantage of playing multiple games, playing a 10-game schedule, is you can work out the kinks. Remember, they had a spring that was disjointed. They had summer that was disjointed. Even though they had practices, they had fall camp that was disjointed. Come on, man. They are one of the top 3 teams. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. Now, whoever else you want to put at 4, put them there. They're going to freaking lose. Whoever's number 4 has the advantage of making a lot of damn money, but also the disadvantage of getting skull drugged by Alabama. Who you want to put there? You want to put who we got? We got Notre Dame there, I think, at 4. They're gonna get skull drugged. If we would have put Cincinnati there, they'll get skull drugged. You want to put A&M there, they're getting skull drugged. Who do you want to put there? Whoever you put at freaking 4 is gonna lose. It's pretty much automatic. But Ohio State is a top 3 team. It's not fair. Life is not fair. Yes, but damn, Cincinnati is not a top 4 team. Stop going by records. Just like some people go by stats. Stop going by freaking stats all the time. Look at a game and use your eyes to see whom has enough talent to stay on the field. I would like to just see Cincinnati play Alabama in a real game. See, sometimes these bowl games, this is what people understand. Going to a bowl, sometimes these bowl games can be distractions. Because it depends on how your coach do. Some of the seniors is fun and they're not as serious because it's the end of the year. You win or lose and whatever. Some teams have an aspiration of being in a championship game and then in the freaking Gator Bowl. Whatever, man. We want to win a championship. This is not it. When you're dealing with 18 or 23-year-olds, it's realistic. It's reality. That's what we thought at that age. I'm just being real with you. But it would be nice in these college football playoffs to have Cincinnati play Bama because now it's for real. This is my chance to get to the championship game. Cincinnati will lose by 21 plus points. Period. Because freaking Notre Dame is probably going to lose by 17 plus points. I'm just being real. Now, the Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State game, it's going to be a better game. Alabama defense isn't as stout as it used to be. And both of those teams can put up points. Clemson defense is very good. Ohio State has a good secondary. And that's going to be a very good game. This first game for Bama is like a freaking warm-up. If they can get out of that thing injury-free, they got lucky because that other semifinal game, they're going to beat each other up. Now, the good part about it, they get an extra week to heal. But, man, that's going to be rough, man. So, all the Cincinnati love, I understand it. A lot of people like the underdog, and I totally get it. A lot of people don't like Ohio State. I totally get it. But you got to take your fandom out of it and look at the game for what it is. Look at the talent level for what it is. Cincinnati is just not that team. All right, guys, that's my time. I started late, went over a little bit. Appreciate you guys watching. I know I have some little difficulties with my camera, and I don't think I even changed my episode thing because I was trying to fiddle around with my freaking technology. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.